So this morning I was using the Bible app, and Micaiah and I were listening to the stories about the Tower of Babel and about Abraham and how he was going to sacrifice Isaac, and so as I was listening to it, I'm like putting myself into that place about what if God told me to do that. And I was just, my eyes honestly were welling up with tears, because as much as I love my son, I could never even contemplate doing something like that. And I know God, I know his heart. He would never, of course, have us do that, but he tests us. He tests our faith, and he's tested my faith many times in my life. And, sometimes he will ask us to do something that would challenge our current level of trust. I mean, he did that with tithing when I had the last 20 on me and I was going to use that for gas. And so this missionary came to the church and was speaking, and so God had me put the rest of that in. And of course, that's not compared to sacrificing your child, but he tests our trust. And so when he prompted me to put that in the offering plate for the missionary, I was like, God came through many times before in my life, so this will be no different. So as I put that in, later on in the week, this brother wrote me an email. He said, I'd like to meet up with you and fill up your gas tank. And he said, I meant to talk to you on Sunday about it, but I got too busy. And so that brother, did that. He filled my gas tank up. And God gave me more than what I had put in the offering plate. So, I look at different depictions about Abraham, and, I guess I can't really say that his reaction was depressed. I mean, maybe it was. There was also another actor in the Bible movie from the 60s. He played Abraham. And his name was George C. Scott. And when God told him to do that, he was like, no, no, no. And he was ranting about it. And then we have Richard Harris, who played Abraham. I think it was in early 90s, maybe. And of course, he wasn't like acting as George C. Scott did, but he was God, how can you ask that of me, and stuff like that. So, maybe that is the first reaction Abraham had, but if you make it a point to speak to God often, and you're in conversation with him, you get to know the character of the person. You get to know, your friends. You know when you hang around with them, what they're like. And if somebody tells you something about them that doesn't seem right, then you're like, no, that's not right. Well, we know that about God. When we spend time with God, we know his character. We know what he approves of, what he disapproves of. Of course, we know it in Scripture as well. But it's even more so when we're in his presence. We know him. And then you see Abraham's action. There's no account in Scripture of him, when God told him to do that. No, 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 God, how can you ask that of me? No, there wasn't that at all. It's just Abraham willingly did it. And we know in Scripture that, that Abraham was going to do it without question. And then Abraham knew that God could raise from the dead. So that's why he did it. It's not like he would have lost his son. He would have had his son back. But God tested Abraham's trust and his love for God. And God saw this. So I just wanted to share that with you. Looking at it personally, that's a hard situation. To be in that position Abraham was. As much as I love my son, and I adore my son, and I love spending time with my son, and I like his character and his laugh and stuff like that, I can't even imagine doing that. So I'm going to end things here. Thank you for watching.